Welcome to 24 Holiday Tips for Savvy Homeowners, brought to you by HomeTipsforWomen.com. Join us each day as Tina and her guests bring you a holiday tip to fill your home with more joy and less stress. And now, here's your host, Tina Gleisner.
Welcome, everyone, and I'm so glad you joined us today for another holiday tip or a series of holiday tips that we've been sharing. We know that the holidays are lots of fun, but they can also be stressful, and that's why I've learned that planning out the holidays can make a really big difference, especially if you follow the 4 Ds. The first is delegate. There's nobody that says you have to do it all. The next is it's more fun when you do things together with friends and family. The third D is it's okay to drop things off your list. Just because you've done something for the last couple of years doesn't mean you have to still keep doing it. And if you follow those 3 Ds, then hopefully you've freed up some time so that you can do a few activities for yourself to delight yourself, because you should enjoy the holidays as much as everyone else. And with that, I decided to invite lots of people to join me on these daily talks about how do we enjoy the holidays more. And today's guest is Stacy McGuigan, and she is an event planner, a very creative one, and I'm sure that you're going to love her stories about how she spends the holidays with her family and helps others have a great holiday too. Welcome, Stacy.
Hi, Tina. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited that you decided to join me, Stacy, because your favorite holiday activity also happens to be my favorite holiday activity. And with that, would you share with our listeners what's your favorite?
My favorite activity is gingerbread house making competition that I do with my family.
And can you share more about that? How do you make the house?
Well, every year we pick a day that works for all 4 of us because we're very busy, and we set aside at least 2 hours for this competition. So I do all the prep work ahead of time. I gather up the graham crackers, the icing, all of the candy, the containers in which the house will be held in, set up our kitchen table, put on the Christmas music, have the hot chocolate ready, and then we just go at it. So everybody makes the house of their dreams. So each year, everybody has a new experience or a new place that they want to travel or a new activity they picked up that they always incorporate into their house. So it's always a really good time. I have to watch my son, though, because he does eat more candy than he puts on the house.
My younger son does, too.
So it's just a good time to be creative, listen to holiday music, talk about, what's going on, what's on their list, what would they like to see in the city this year. So it's just a good time to just take a break from the hustle and bustle and just let your creativity flow and relax.
Right. And is there a winner declared, and how does the voting go?
Well, we take a picture of each finished product, and we post it on social media to our friends, and then we usually go with the most likes. The person whose house lasts the longest, between the time it's built and the time we take the picture, they get bonus points. Because 2 out of the 4 houses always collapse because too much icing. So we let social media do it. We try not to argue over it.
Oh, that is too funny. That is too funny. So, because I've always had gingerbread parties, but I've never turned it into a competition. That's why I found this so intriguing.
Oh, yeah, because, everybody loves to be the winner. So we just leave it up to social media because the kids are very social media savvy. And, it's usually fun. There's no, like, nobody ever, like, tries to go out there and say, look at my house, look why I created it. So there's no extra special attention. We just post them all on one post, and then just the most likes wins.
Yeah. And you mentioned that they build the house of their dreams. Can you give us some examples of some exotic gingerbread houses that they've built?
Well, the one, only because my son is very extreme sports oriented, he built a house that had a skateboard ramp that went from the roof to the lawn. And then my husband, who's a surfer, he built like a beach hut gingerbread house. So it all depends on, what's going on that year. But those two were the most creative, I have to say.
So the beach hut because he likes
surfing. And then my son, he did the skateboard ramp from the roof of his house to the very bottom. So that was fun because then he made like a little miniature, skateboarder and put it on the ramp.
Right. Those are great. Absolutely great. So with your event planning business, I'm sure that you've thought of other ways to use a gingerbread house competition as an event beyond just a family. Can you share some of your ideas there?
Oh, certainly. The one way you can totally incorporate gingerbread house competitions would be like in the corporate world around the holiday season, where it could be a team-building activities for the employees. So instead of spending like thousands of dollars on an employee event, around the holiday season, you could just do something fun during lunchtime that doesn't really take away from the work environment, but where there's a little friendly competition going on between the employees. And they just build their gingerbread house, and then you can have a vote, like a secret vote, to see who the winner is. And so for that type of competition, the employer could give the winner a day off. And maybe second place could leave early on a Friday. And maybe third place could have a casual day one day. So that's a good way to keep like employee morale and to also do something, the employer to do something for their employees during the holidays. And then another way you could do it is to actually bring in a nonprofit, if you're a corporation, and say you bring in like a shelter for women and their families. You can adopt a family. You could have your employees work with each family to build their own gingerbread house that then they can take back with them, because the holidays is usually not the happiest time of the year for a lot of people who are in shelters. So this would be a good way, for the company themselves to do good within their local community.
I love that idea. That just sounds perfect. Because
and there's
we live in different worlds, and we forget about the other people that make up our community, and this is a way to bring them together.
Oh, exactly. And if you wanted to, if you were a big enough company, you could actually, every employee could adopt a nonprofit, a local nonprofit, whether it's helping dogs out, Phil Abundance, which collects foods for shelters, and the employees do a true competition where the winner, their nonprofit, would receive like a $500 gift certificate. And maybe you have a second place winner and they receive a $200 gift certificate to an office supply store. So there's all kinds of ways that you can involve your local community as a company, and it shows like good faith, that you care about what's surrounding your business, that you are giving back. So
I love these ideas. They're great. So, yeah, and they're a lot less expensive than like hosting an evening party at a restaurant.
Oh, exactly. And to be honest, it takes a lot of time to plan an employee holiday party. And I think if employees were honest, that they probably wouldn't want to take the time out of their busy schedule in December to, have a 6-hour night out. That's why actually a lot of employees have been moving their holiday parties to January, February, and not calling them a holiday party, but like, an employee appreciation event.
Ah.
So the holidays themselves, like the holiday parties themselves, are sort of like, they take away from the family. That's how a lot of employees look at it. So this would be something great that you could do during your lunch hour while you're in work, and you're not taking away from your employees' family time.
I love it. It just makes so much sense, and you're right, because, that's really what started this whole series of holiday tips, was that there are so many extra activities during December, and there isn't enough time, and so you end up being so rushed that you don't even enjoy a lot of the extra activities.
Right. And like I guess my big thing is like I try to, for all of my clients, I want them to appreciate and remember the moments of their event. That's why it's important. That's why they hire me. They want to remember their own event. They want to be present in that moment. So it just works, those competitions work great during the holidays, during the lunch hour. So
right. They're fun, and they get people interacting in ways that they wouldn't during the normal course of business. So it's great.
Exactly.
I love these ideas. So, Stacy, as you look forward to the holidays, because they're approaching, what's most important to you?
Well, definitely, number one is spending time with my family. I would say allowing my family to give back to others, like seeing where we can fill a need within our own local community as a family, and just trying to enjoy every moment of what the holiday season has to bring, which is like having fun with your family, your friends, giving back, sightseeing, decorating, every little thing has to be enjoyed. So,
well, I love all your ideas for taking something as simple as a gingerbread house. I also congratulate you on focusing on decorating the gingerbread houses, not building them the way I've done for years, because it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, I know.
Yeah. So if people wanted to connect with you online, where would they find you, Stacy?
They could find me at www.stacy, Stacy, L as in Larry, McGuigan, McGuigan.com. I'm also on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. I love social media. I think it's just a great way to connect with a lot of people. So
it is,
and LinkedIn for the professionals.
Right. No, social media is just it's part of our lives now, and just the fact that you take photographs of the gingerbread houses and let your friends on Facebook vote.
Well, that's because I don't want any arguments between our family. So we post each picture, and the picture that gets the most likes, because we don't say who built it, it's just the picture that has the most likes, they win. And so it's only the four of us who knows who the ultimate winner is. We never say who made the houses.
Right. So, but what I love is that it blends the online Facebook and the offline, FaceTime of here's what I made, here's what I did, because too much of our lives are just online, and we're losing that personal interaction. That's the part that scares me.
Oh, I agree with you. I see it sometimes in my children, where they would prefer to do everything via text messaging instead of like picking up the phone and calling. But I think you have to, if you have young children, you have to make that a priority. They have to learn how to talk on the phone with their peers, know how to write letters. I don't care about snail mail. You can't text everything, and you can't do everything by email. And plus, it makes a lasting impression, I think, if somebody actually gets a handwritten note.
So with that, this is Tina Gleisner at Home Tips for Women, and I hope you love these stories as much as I did about gingerbread houses and making it a little more fun with a competition that might include voting on Facebook or another social media platform. I hope that everybody listening has a wonderful, wonderful holiday. Thank you, and come back. We'll have more holiday tips for you tomorrow.
Thank you for joining us today, and we invite you back tomorrow for another Savvy Holiday Tip. Be sure to grab your free gift at SavvyHolidayTips.com. That's SavvyHolidayTips.com.